Siate i benvenuti. Welcome, my friends, to Starsector. Okay. We approach, etc., etc. It's always the same message, but Commander Cascade wants to say, solid work. I'll get my technicians working on this right away. In the meantime, this should cover your expenses, hopefully with a good amount left over. We gain 8,000 credits for the Gamma Core, the AI core that we just turned in. And we have one left, because we were lucky and we found two. I'll send you the stabilization algorithm when the core works it up. Once you have it, it should be a simple matter of running it using your fleet's drive field as a means of interacting with the jump point. However, there's still the matter of the miners guarding both jump points out of the system. And you've said their forces are significant? Well, it's all relative. Our security detachment could handle them easily. But as I've mentioned, it's tied down defending Ansira. Your fleet, on the other hand, you might be able to handle them with some stellar piloting and a bit of luck, but it's best not to take such chances. Now, this probably relates to the fact that you might have started with more ships, choosing one of the easy starts. For just one wolf, the battle that is coming is a bit too much, I think. It says especially not when there's an alternative. What alternative is that? There's a ship graveyard around Tetra. Ships that were deemed not worth the effort to restore, awaiting bulk transit to one of the shipbreaking facilities elsewhere. Now though, they'll serve our needs. Go there and recover all the ships you can, and break the ones you can't for supplies. Make sure to bring enough crew to operate the recovered ships, perhaps an extra 100 or so will do. You'll need to transport them somehow too. Here, take this Mudskipper transport, consider it part of your reward. We acquired the ISS Upholder, a Mudskipper class civilian transport. Thank you, I will return with the ships. So, if we press F and go to the fleet, we now have this civilian transport. This can hold a maximum crew of 100, so it just added 100 to our maximum crew capacity. If we get to the shop, wait, we only have the black market available. You know why? Because we docked without engaging our transponder. So let's try again. Okay, now we have access to the open market. We want to sell all the metals. We cannot sell the AI cores because this is illegal to trade to the Hegemony. Other factions accept Gamma AI cores. I will say this right now, you can sell this. For example, look at this. I could sell this in the black market and I will receive 10,000, which is the maximum you can get out of a Gamma Core. However, this game knows that I have given a very valuable item to the pirate faction, basically, and they will use it. If you give AI cores and blueprints to the pirate faction, you will start seeing them using the items that you gave them. For example, if you find a really nice blueprint for a battleship and you think, okay, I want to sell this and I don't want to pay taxes, you give it to the black market, you will find pirate ships employing I mean pirate fleets employing that battleship. So really pay attention who you're selling your stuff to. Okay, what do we have to do? We have to get 100 or so crew. Actually, we may want to max out on crew. We don't get to buy heavy machinery, which is a shame, because heavy machinery increases your chance to recover stuff when salvaging or salvaging. Alright, we have the crew, or at least part of the crew. We now want to head to the planet Tetra, where the ship's graveyard is. Let's speed up time. As soon as we get near, we get sensor contacts, and these are the derelict ships. Let's see if we can recover this Wolf-class frigate. A derelict Wolf-class frigate drifting through space. It is better, though determining whether it's recoverable or not will require close examination, so explore. It is recoverable. Salvage crews boarding the wreck discovered that many essential systems are undamaged, and the ship could be restored to basic functionality. If not recovered, the ship will be scuttled, and any fitted weapons and fighter RPCs will be retrieved. It basically means if it has weapons on it, and this one has weapons, it has at least a couple of missile launchers that I can see. If you scuttle it, you will get whatever was fitted on it. But we want to consider the ship recovery. Now, recovery will take both supplies and of course crew, because you need to man the ship. It's also indicated here, 10 and 23. Another thing to keep into consideration is that many times, most of the times, ship's hull that you recover will have lasting damage. So these 3 orange pips that you see here, and also the orange line in the description, says that this one has lasting damage in degraded engines, erratic fuel injector, and increased maintenance. These 3 are arguably the 3 worst damages that you can have, because the first 2 make the ship go slower. If I press F1, you can see that top speed is reduced by 35 units. Also, sensor profile is increased, maximum burn, so speed in fleet is decreased. I mean, it's damaged, right? And also it has increased maintenance, which means it consumes double the supplies per month. So we will probably end up selling this right after the battle, but consider ship recovery, select it and recover. Now the ship is part of our fleet. The pop-up says, some of the ships in your fleet are at dangerously low combat readiness, below 20%, of course, because we just recovered it, and so it's at 0. Deploying these ships in combat is likely to cause critical malfunctions, dealing damage, disabling some weapons and engines for the duration of the battle, and causing further critical malfunctions during the deployment. It's recommended that you let these ships recover before using them in combat. Ships regain combat readiness over time, and friendly stations offer a quick way to do so and effect repairs. Is this even whatever, as well as hire on additional crew if needed. You can check the combat readiness levels of your ships in the fleet screen. Open the fleet screen. Yes, it's at 1% combat readiness. It will get 10% per day. And right now it's consuming 1.8 per day. One option, but we will do it for a larger ship, is that you could stop repairs. You could suspend repairs and recovery. So it says halted. And right now it only consumes 0.3 per day. Or you could mothball. Mothballing a ship means that you bring all the repair to 0. But you are just towing the ship around, so it doesn't cost you like crew or supplies. But for now we will let this one fly. Let's go towards more ship hulls. Explore. This one cannot be recovered. You receive a preliminary assessment of a potential salvage operation from the exploration crews. And so we just want to begin the salvage operations and get whatever can be scavenged from a wreckage. There's a kite. Kite cannot be salvaged, can only be... cannot be recovered, can only be salvaged. Take all. Buffalo Mark II, explore, begin salvage operation. A Lasher class frigate. We'll get more stuff from it. A Condor class light carrier. Yes, this is usually recoverable. This has an erratic fuel injector and compromised the hull. Not too bad. However, as you can see, this being a carrier type ship, it will take a lot of our crew. We want to recover it. Now this ship I could halt, I could suspend repairs. But I actually have enough supplies, I think, to do this. So let's get towards this other kite. Oh, and as you just saw in here, scavenging and recovering ships gains you experience. So it's totally a viable playstyle, just going around and salvaging and then trading what you salvaged. Let's explore. This is a kite. Consider ship recovery. Only 1 lasting damage in unreliable subsystems. This is not bad. It just means that it starts losing combat readiness earlier during combat. There is a Dram, which is a tanker. I will not recover this because I do not need a tanker ship right now, and especially not one with degraded engines and increased maintenance and compromised storage. By the way, what's the point of a storage ship with compromised storage? So not now, which means we will recover materials from it. And also a small launcher. And then the main course, a derelict Hammerhead class destroyer. Explore, consider ship recovery. It has compromised hull and erratic fuel injector. All in all, not bad. Not bad. This will be our main ship for, well, not really a while, but at least for the first couple of battles. Okay, now we are... Dang it, I just skipped a pop-up that was probably the one saying that we are under crewed. what do we do when we are undercrewed? We can take a ship that takes a lot of crew and we can mothball it. So this one gets to 0% combat readiness, but I can use the crew on the other ships. I also want to take this opportunity to change the order of the ships, and I want to transfer 0 Thompson to the destroyer. There's ordnance points left because these ships did not come with a full complement of hull mods and weapons, but we will get back to the station before we refit them. Alright, let's get back to the Ansira research station. From time to time you see me impact on asteroids. That's mainly, well, not cosmetic. It leads you a little bit off course. So let's say it's a little bit of a risk to fly into asteroids, but it doesn't really damage your ships. Let's open the comm directory and inform Commander Cascade that we have the ships. Welcome back. A bunch of rust buckets, aren't they? But put some weapons on them, get a proper refit done, and with a dedicated crew, they'll do alright. With no worse than what the pirates have got at any rate. Speaking of weapons... yeah, was just about to talk to you about that. Not much to buy on the open market, but we have some stores. I've already ordered local storage space to be assigned to you, and some suitable weapons transferred there, along with enough supplies to speedily bring the new ships back to full combat readiness. Use them to outfit your new ships. Make sure you've got enough crew for a full complement on every ship, and then break the rogue miner defenses at the inner jump point. Once the conversation is over, press R to open the refit screen. After selecting the specific ship, you can press V to auto fit. Pick a desired loadout, etc, etc. I will show you. In addition, you now have access to local storage at Ansira, and some weapons and supplies have been placed there. To access it, click on the storage button in the trade screen. I take you've got the stabilization algorithm then? Correct. These cores seems like they can work miracles sometimes. Let me transmit the results. Good luck to you. If you fail, well, we'll have to send the security force to do the job, and then it could get very messy. Well, it's good to know you're already working on a plan B. Come now, it's not so grim. I have every expectation you'll succeed, or I wouldn't send you. But it's my responsibility as commander to plan for every eventuality, and not rely on a miraculous savior. Now, about those miners. The two fleets guarding the jump point will aid each other if you engage one when the other is nearby, so it'll be an easier fight if you manage to separate them first. If you can't, it should still be a fight you can win though. Copy that, I'll be back here when the job is done. So now first we want to relieve ourselves of this metal and make sure that we have at least okay, the number here is skewed, so let's confirm that because that's because our ISS Caneus is mothballed. If we unmothball it, then we can see that we need a minimum of 200 crew. So we get back to the market screen. Do we have in storage? No. So this is the stuff that we have been given, and it's in storage. We will get all of it out of the storage for now. This was a gift, so it cost us nothing. And can we? No, we cannot store illegal goods at this station. In the open markets though, we want to buy crew until we get to 200, but also a little bit more, because now we're gonna also have a carrier, and a carrier needs pilot, and pilots are expendable. Alright. Now that we have enough, if we go to fleet, there's no orange alerts, but we need to refit. Let's start from the bottom. Let's hit refit on this. When refitting a ship while docked at a space station, you can mount both the weapons in your cargo hold and the ones available for purchase at the station. Undoing the changes to the ship's loadout, or simply unmounting the purchased weapons, will refund the credits used, but only if you haven't navigated away from the refit screen. So we can basically buy weapons from here without leaving the refit screen. So one thing that was suggested to us is that we try the auto fit. We get a choice between 3 or 4 different loadouts: an attack, a strike, and a support. Support gives us what? 2 interceptor wings. I would prefer the one that gets us the bombers and the heavy fighter wing. Strip before auto-fitting, yes. Upgrade weapons using extra ordnance point. Use ordnance from cargo, from storage. Do not buy from the market for now. Anyway, you can see the cost of the ordnance that you would buy to do the auto fitting, and you can also choose the always include a couple of hull mods that have the function of ensuring that a ship is recoverable even if it gets destroyed, or I should say even if it gets disabled in battle. If we are happy with this loadout, we can hit confirm and this will be automatically fitted. So this gave us a couple of light machine gun that act as point defense. Point defense is important because it's automated guns and turrets that can shoot down incoming missiles. So you always need, unless you're piloting a very, very nimble ship, you need point defense to protect your ship from missiles and torpedoes and also fighters. And then it has a long range Pylum LRM launcher. This has a range of 10,000, which is massive. I will go through, I mean, you can get very in-depth with how the damage system works and how to fit ships. Let's go through everything with the auto fit for now. Let's get a support. In this one, support. However, it's not getting us exactly what we wanted. Probably because it doesn't have enough salamander MRM. So it's basically giving us a variation of the standard. Let's get a standard, confirm. This one. out of it. We can do the assault. We can do the close support. Overdriven. Or point defense. Let's do the first. It's buying something, but it'll only cost 300 units. So it's not a big deal. It is also mounting some hull mods. Flux distributor and flux coil adjunct. Then to the main ship. Is this also changing the weapon groups? Probably. Alright, we will spend a little bit more time on this. On the ISS Patorius Jump. Let's see. It has the overdriven variant. However, I don't want you to buy from the market. I will take care of that on my own. So what did you do? Not much really. Heavy mortar. No thanks. So we will have to rethink all of this. The main thing it got us is safety overrides. The safety overrides makes this ship into basically a glass cannon. So in this game you have shields and armor. The shields though, when they take damage, that raises your flux. You have a maximum flux capacity. When your flux exceeds your flux capacity, your ship gets temporarily disabled, which is something you do not want, because then you have no shields, you cannot move, and you're a sitting duck. Safety overrides means that your passive flux regeneration or flux venting or dissipation is doubled, but also you cannot actively vent the flux, which is something that you can normally do. It takes a few seconds, but you can dissipate all the flux like actively, while being able to move but not to shoot. So running the safety overrides, meaning you cannot vent the flux, but you're faster, you hit harder, and you have higher passive dissipation. On this, we also want assault chain guns. We can have, but they are on the illegal market. So I will have to employ a little trick, I think. Can I do this with the heavy machine guns though? Which is also on the illegal market anyway. So my fear for now is that if I start buying on the illegal market, then they will want to get to me to scan my cargo, and they will find the extra AI core. However, oh yeah, it's telling me to adjust the weapon groups, but I still don't have the weapons. But if I open the com directory, I can... No, he doesn't accept my cores yet. What if there should be a derelict station? No, it's not in here. It's not in here. This is not good. Should I go and sell? No, I don't want to sell to the pirates. Dang it. Alright, let's try and do this. I will go to this gate. I will jettison the illegal goods, which is something that you shouldn't normally do while you are being chased, because they will know that you just jettisoned cargo and they will scan it anyway. Confirm. Now I want to approach the cargo pod and I want to stabilize it. It will cost me only 2 supplies. Alright. Now I don't have illegal goods on me anymore. Now I feel much more confident buying weapons on the illegal market, because I want these assault chain guns. These are the best assault weapons for this kind of ship. I can lower down the amount of vents. Now in here, about missiles. I could get some Hammer class torpedoes for added kick, or Sabo SRMs that are faster at disabling shields. Sounds like a good idea if only I had a couple of them. I don't like to fit like unbalanced. Let's put hammerheads. Hey. Okay. Now, when it comes to point defense, we want to look for stuff like this. Point defense. We can fit light machine guns all around. Now, weapon groups. Weapon groups assign weapons to the keys. I want the missiles, or the torpedoes in this case, on 1 and alternating, because I want to fire them 1 at a time. Then I want to the assault chain guns on 2 in auto, and also all the point defense turrets on 3 on auto. We are going to consume 100 for the shield and 800 to fire, 875 to fire everything. I don't want this. I want to get to 900 and then increase the capacity a little bit. If you're not sure about what you're doing in the refit screen, you can run a simulation and you can decide what kind of ship you want to go against. For example, this is a type of ship we already fought. Let's see how well it fares against the overdriven hammerhead. We approach, we activate the shields, and now I will activate also the special ability of the hammerhead destroyer, which is the accelerated ammo feeder. So I will first wait for the chain guns to start firing and then listen to the sound of the Daka. Yeah, this is a destroyer ship. We will encounter slightly bigger ships anyway. But we are done with the refit. We can speed up the repairs and immediately consume 33 supplies. This way all our ships are in full condition, barring any lasting damage. Alright. We are now ready to go and pay a visit to the jump points and the pirates guarding it. Look at these guys. I bought a couple of chain guns on the black market and they immediately want to scan me. You're being hailed by the Hegemony fleet. Attention! Your fleet matches the profile of a suspected smuggler posted by Ansira authorities. You're hereby ordered to submit to a cargo scan. Allow the scan. After a brief wait, the Hegemony security detachment transmits the scan result. No contraband or suspicious cargo found. Commander Jackson Mimas looks vaguely displeased. Well, everything looks clean this time. The comlink is cut before you have a chance to respond. Well, thank you. Thank you, Commander Mimas. Wait. No, I want to leave, I don't want to engage. Now, there will be pirates around here.